We welcome you on a cold night to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for ACC Gymnastics as the 22nd ranked North Carolina Tar Heels take on the Pitt Panthers here inside the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. It is indeed Valentine's Day. What a cool sign. As we welcome you inside, Jeff Hathorn and Olivia Miller, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day to all our viewers here.
Yeah, the Panthers return home for Valentine's Day. They've been on the road for a couple of straight meets. Just kind of happy to be in this environment again.
Yeah, you know, the Panthers were down at NC State last weekend, so now they face the other North Carolina team this week with UNC.
And UNC is coming off their best performance of the year. The first time they reached over 196, and you know, is really a consistent performance for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, you know, the Tar Heels really showed up and showed out against Clemson last weekend, and you can see all the accolades that happened last weekend, but they did fantastic, and they're bringing that momentum just at the right time this season.
Yeah, Julia Noer with a 39.275 to win the all-around. 3 rotations, 49 or better. For the Panthers, they really got a boost from someone who only had her 3rd opportunity this year.
Yeah, Julie Rodomazzo here, we see that she had a 9.85, which was her career high over on beam. And it's really been great to see that Julie has broken some lineups at this point in the season and has really not only broken the lineups, but really showed up and has been a great asset here for the Panthers.
Now, along with Julie, another new one, Jamie Pratt is going to do all around after her first opportunity to do all around last week.
Yeah, Pratt here is a transfer from Arkansas, and it's been great to see that she's had the opportunity to compete all around here and has really clearly made an impact on multiple events.
As we look at the rotations, it will be Olympic rotation here at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse tonight between the Panthers and Tar Heels. And really anxious to see how this starts, because bars is obviously a great event for North Carolina, and Deganoise going 6th is one of the best in the country. And Genta is an interesting start for the Panthers, to see if the Panthers with Cesarone, someone who's been very consistent for Pitt.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Olivia Genta here, she's stuck a lot of her vaults this season, and it's been incredible to see from a freshman and, you know, kind of having that poise. So looking forward here to starting off the rotation for the Panthers.
As we get set to go here in Pittsburgh, Genta, the freshman from Hinsdale, Illinois, 3 times has gone 9.725 or higher.
Just a small step on the landing there, that Yurchenko full. That's the vault that she had stuck the last couple of meets, but had a little bit of a step today. But again, it's all about really honing in on those landings and that form in the air.
So we are underway here in Pittsburgh. Julia Noer, senior from Mandeville, Louisiana. Noer has 22 career wins, and 25 times in her career has been 9.9 or higher.
Yeah, that's absolutely an incredible accolade to have from a senior. You know, Julia is one of those athletes that has been consistent and leads by performance, and is a vocal leader on the team. So it's great to see that she's going to start this meet off here for the Tar Heels.
Her season high is 9.875.
Huge Ginger there, was a little bit far, so has to reach to catch just by the fingertips. You know, and some of the things that you're looking for over on bars are really hitting those vertical handstands, which Julia's doing a great job of, and making all of those releases super high and have a lot of amplitude. And you can see from that dismount there, small landing, a little bit of a hop back, but all in all, a wonderful way for the Tar Heels to start off their meet here at Pitt. Take another look here at that dismount, that full out. It's really great that she's able to open up and spot the landing before she even hits the ground. So that just shows that she has a lot of amplitude and clearly is a seasoned veteran over on that event.
9.7 for Genta, and our first opportunity to see Pratt.
As I said here, Pratt is the transfer from Arkansas junior and has really stepped into multiple lineups, but here is an event where she, you know, along with bars, 2 events that she really shows out for. Gorgeous Yurchenko full, smallest hop back on the landing, but another really solid vault for the Panthers.
So Pitt off to a good start.
can get another look here at that Yurchenko full. A couple things that you're looking for is to have a lot of block or amplitude off of that vault table. And the biggest thing when you're landing this vault is having your chest up. So you're keeping a flat body, chest up on the landing, and obviously everything in gymnastics tries to have a minimal landing deduction, meaning little steps, little hops. We're looking for all these stuck landings.
The sophomore from the Woodland, Texas, Nev King, up next for North Carolina. We're waiting on the score for Julia. 9.75 for Noah. Nev King, 7-time high school champion in Texas.
That's an incredible accolade for somebody from the Texas area. Texas has a lot of really great club gymnastics, so it's a really competitive region. So to have any type of win over there for a state championship is huge. Starting off with the Maloney here, down to the low bar with the path. And nice to see a Stalder there, straight into her double tuck. A little bit soft on that landing, but again, just a small hop, but all in all, again, another solid routine for the Tar Heels.
At the course of this meet. Thank you.
You can take another look at that Stalder, which is, more of a unique skill, but it actually gives some bonus doing that into the double tuck landing there, which is, where she gets some of her bonus credits in general from her routine.
Jamie Pratt with a 9.725. Lila Pileggi, a local here in the Pittsburgh area.
It's always nice whenever you have a local athlete who's able to have fans to show up and support. A really nice Yurchenko full. She has a little bit of a larger hop back, but I really liked how her hips were open the entire vault that time.
Do you ever get over the fact that you come to a place where you watched people as a kid and now you're the one that's performing for other kids?
It's one of those feelings that really never goes away. It's always incredible to be an athlete who competes at a facility or with a team that you probably grew up watching and you looked up to all of those athletes. So I'm sure it's, a great experience for her to have all these younger athletes here today, getting to, watch her, and now she's the role model.
Lila has her autographed Olivia Miller card in her room. Bella Miller is up next for North Carolina.
Yeah, and something interesting here that we talked to head coach Dana Durante. She had said that Bella actually, as a senior, has learned a new dismount over on this event. So she does a blindfold to double tuck dismount, which is, to the average person may not seem super impressive, but learning a new skill at, being a senior is huge, and that just goes to show how strong all these athletes are. And you can see she had a huge ray there. So she's really grown on this event, and it's great to see that development as a senior. So here, take a look for this dismount. Blind full, straight into a double tuck. Pulls in a little bit on that landing, so she has to take a step back, but again, a really clean routine, really minimal deductions there.
Now, it seemed like the pad was a little bit short, or did she just not get out far enough?
Yeah, you can see she kind of pulls in just a little bit. She was a little crooked on that blind full, meaning that whenever she lets go of the bar, she was just maybe a little bit off there. So lands a little bit closer to the bar than maybe she had liked, but she recovers well by still finding that landing.
Lila with the 9.675. Kennedy Duke next for the Panthers. So the junior from British Columbia.
Gorgeous stuck landing there from Duke. And that is a really, really solid vault for the Panthers. Duke is an athlete who's been in the vault lineup her entire time here at the University of Pittsburgh, and she's really great at kind of drilling that landing. You can take a look here. She really gets a great block off the table, hips open, and she just spots that landing and absolutely no movement, which should be a great score for the Panthers.
You could see Kennedy's reaction.
Next to compete for the Tar Heels.
You know, relieved to find that landing. It's been something she's been training for in the gym, is really that
9.825 is a
low
career
step.
high. She might be in that neighborhood. 9.675 for Bella Miller with Gwen Fink.
Straddle Jaeger there. She's a great rhythm on this routine. Really flows easily. A little bit short on that last handstand there. You want to be within 10 degrees of vertical for it to be considered a no deduction handstand, but a great double layout, small hop back.
Last time here, Gwen finished second on bars with a 9.9 against the Panthers. So how much does that carry over? If you have success in a road building, and when you walk back into that building, do you kind of feel that juice from that day?
Yeah, every now and again you kind of remember, oh, I remember this is a place where I scored a career high or I had an incredible meet. So hopefully for her, that was an experience of, I've done great here before.
Speaking of career high for Kennedy Duke, a 9.85. Now Bedminster.
A really strong Yurchenko full, and Jalea has actually scored a perfect 9.95 on that vault. So the Yurchenko full in college gymnastics has a scoring potential of a 9.95. So that's the highest score the athlete can achieve on that routine. So she's actually gotten a perfect 9.95 before. So maybe not this week because of the small hop, but still a really solid vault to follow Duke.
I think she found out she got a career high.
It's always an incredible feeling to know that you've done something you've worked hard for.
Isabel Schaefer up next for North Carolina. Schaefer, the senior from Charlotte.
You know, we had just talked about Bella Miller learning some new skills over on bars. We'll see a little bit later tonight, Isabel Schaefer actually has learned a new vault as a senior. So that just goes to show how much growth these Tar Heels have had and how much they've worked hard over this preseason.
Well, we mentioned that Fink finished second. Schaefer won last year against the Panthers on bars.
Yeah, and she's currently ranked 9th in the ACC right now in this event. So she has a lot of scoring potential here. So far, this routine's been fantastic. Just the dismount here left for Schaefer. Another full out, small hop, but all in all, she's really nailed in on that landing and can just see the spot and just open up and land. So you can see her dismount. She sees the ground. Just the smallest hop, and she seems pretty excited about that.
It's interesting when Carolina's on the road because they excel at bars. So it's almost always that they're probably going into rotation 2 at the lead, but the Panthers have performed so well on vault. With Cicerone, an opportunity to even build on that number.
Yeah, and Cicerone here is anchoring the lineup, and she's currently ranked 5th right now in the ACC over on this event.
Panthers coming off a couple of 9.85s.
Small step back, but again, a gorgeous vault, hips open, chest was up. Not much to take there from that vault. Cicerone also a transfer for the Panthers. She transferred from Central Michigan. She is a 5th-year graduate student for the Panthers.
Lolly Dekanoiza.
Another athlete here that's in the rankings. She's currently ranked #1 over on this event in the ACC, and she's actually scored a 9.975 in the past, which for those of you who aren't as familiar with gymnastics, a 10.0 is the highest scoring potential any athlete can get. So having a 9.975 is just a 0.025 off from perfect here.
Dekanoiza, 3-time NCAA qualifier. Considering this is her 4th year, that means every time.
Yes, absolutely. She's a staple over on this event, and you can just see here, all of her lines are gorgeous. She hits handstands where she needs to. I mean, her feet are glued together. She's an incredible athlete for sure. Another beautiful handstand just before the dismount here. Double layout, stuck landing. I mean, it's pretty hard to find some deductions in there, that's for sure. You can see why she's ranked #1 in the ACC right now. You can see here from that dismount, feet glued together. Maybe the smallest little hop on the landing. It'll be interesting to see if the judges take something for that, but regardless, it was an incredible routine, and what a way to anchor the lineup there for the Tar Heels.
In her career, she's had 2 bars wins against Pitt as an exhibition with.
We have a freshman here, Mika Lee, and an exhibition spot is an opportunity for an athlete who is able to kind of showcase the routine, has been working hard to break the lineup, but maybe just isn't quite there yet. So an exhibition spot is really important for an athlete because it has the opportunity to show, hey, I deserve to be in this lineup.
Claire Stipich will do an exhibition for North Carolina. She's been trying to break through into this lineup. It's been so deep. The record, I don't think, shows what North Carolina has done, hence the 22nd ranking. And here's an opportunity. We were talking to Dana, she said, doors are going to open. It's your turn to bust that door open when it does. And here's a chance for Claire, even an exhibition, to show.
Yeah, that's something that head coach Durante had really talked about, is that she's a University of Kentucky transfer. So she's, has a lot of great skills and a lot of great routines, and she's just really been on the edge of breaking all these lineups. So definitely an athlete to watch out for tonight.
And a 9.875 for Decanoisa.
Double layout, another really small landing hop there, but a really great routine and a great opportunity for Claire to show that she deserves to break that bar lineup for UNC.
So another good bar rotation for North Carolina, but the Panthers finish with 3 straight 9.85s as we head to rotation 2. Big start for the Panthers, 48.975, leading North Carolina after the first rotation at 48.8. And Pitt saw a career high on vault, and it really started off a run for the Panthers in that first rotation.
Yeah, we'll take a look here. Kennedy Duke, the junior here, her Yurchenko full was gorgeous, and she drills the landing, feet stuck. I mean, it was an incredible vault, and you can tell how happy she is and the team is for her.
And what else do you say about Lali Decanoisa? Just another outstanding performance on bars.
Yeah, I mean, ranked #1 in the ACC, and you can see why right here. Her form is incredible, feet glued together. I mean, 9.875 is an incredible score. Not her highest score, but again, a great routine with that stuck landing there.
So the Panthers and Tar Heels go into the second rotation as Panthers led by head coach Casey Jo McPherson. Casey Jo in her second year, first head coaching job here with the Panthers. Of course, you saw she was on the Missouri staff and really a very accomplished gymnast herself.
Yeah, Casey Jo has been doing a great job with, bringing in recruits and really helping to build team culture. And she's done a great job just in general with, bringing in a lot of contributing athletes and transfers. And she's really been building this program to hopefully reach new heights.
Dana Durante is in her 4th season at North Carolina. Of course, not a stranger to being head coaches at other places, at Georgia and Cal, assistant at Nebraska, but she really seems to be bringing what she wants. Her daughter's on staff. I mean, it's become this family atmosphere with the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I mean, from somebody who has so much experience, and not only at UNC, but obviously a lot of other programs, a lot of success in their past. It's a really bright future here for the Tar Heels.
1, 2, 3, run!
Dana in her 4th year against Casey Jo in her 2nd. The fans are ready. It is Valentine's Day here in Pittsburgh in a tight competition between the Panthers and Tar Heels here in Pittsburgh. Welcome back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Beautiful night here in Pittsburgh. The rest of the weekend, not so much, but on Valentine's Day, it's got to be nice, at least for one night, if not a little bit cold. Tar Heels and Panthers in a tight competition here through one rotation as we flip with Carolina going to vault, and you see the Panthers now on the uneven bars. Bars for the Panthers this year has been a roller coaster, and looking to try to put that all together here tonight.
Yeah, you know, we were talking to head coach Casey Joe, and she was really telling us that it's been great because the lineups are always changing for all the Panthers, not just with bars, with a lot of events. And, you know, it's giving a lot of experience to a lot of different athletes, and almost every athlete on the team has had an opportunity at some point this season. So really have had a lot of different, you know, depth is something that they've really struggled with and excited to see this year.
Yeah, and even in the span of tonight, they've changed their lineup twice already for uneven bars. For Carolina on vault, Nev King will lead off for Carolina as we're going to get set to go here in a couple of seconds with Gwen Fink. Noer again. Fink and Noer will both compete in the all-around tonight. Schaefer and Dekanoise will be sixth in that event as well.
Judges, please take control of your apparatus.
Valahovic has had a tremendous first season with North Carolina. We'll talk a little bit more about her when she steps up for competition, but these very talented seniors for North Carolina, and also there's really been a little bit from every class that have helped the Tar Heels this season.
Yeah, you know, similar to the Panthers in that they've had a lot of different athletes compete at a lot of different events. It's been great to see that the Tar Heels has depth, and it's been, again, another opportunity for all the athletes to contribute in some capacity this season. So it just goes to show, you know, the growing depth for the Tar Heels as well.
See Nev King.
Leading off for the Tar Heels.
See her vault average.
You know, a very consistent athlete here, and that's something that the Tar Heels have really focused on this whole season, has been consistency, and that's what you want to see from a leadoff, which is the first gymnast to go on that event. So starting with a Yurchenko full, and talking about consistency, I mean, that is about as strong of a start as you could possibly ask for there, a stuck Yurchenko full.
We've already seen one career high on vault. We may see another here with Nev King. She previously had a 9.775.
Wouldn't be surprised if this breaks that career high. I mean, you can see her chest was up, her hips were open. I mean, very similar to what we saw with Duke. I mean, that was pretty much exactly what you want to see from Yurchenko full, and what a way to start the Tar Heels off on the second rotation.
And the Panthers will look to Kennedy Duke, who had that career high on vault. You can imagine the adrenaline going through her after that on the first rotation.
And Duke is a pretty strong leadoff here for the Panthers, leading off on both bars and slated to lead off beam as well. Just another consistent athlete here. Maloney back down to the low bar with that pack. Good handstand there, nice and vertical. Blindfold straight into the double tuck, and drills that landing. She's on fire tonight. Something that I know Duke has been really working for this season is drilling in on those landings. So it's great to see that not only could she do it on vault, but she carried that over and brought it to bars there with that double tuck. You know, no foot movement.
She has been so consistent this year. And a 9.875. Nev King not only set a career high, she destroyed her old career high.
We'll see here, Yurchenko full. Another really strong landing. Maybe the tiniest bit of a hop we'll have to see on the replay here, but again, super strong vault for the Tar Heels. And coming after King's 9875, I mean, she should score very well.
Yeah, the junior Fink. We've seen performances kind of build on performances so far on both sides. As we await Kennedy Duke's score.
You know, and talking about building, that's something that you want to see from gymnastics in general. The composition of the lineup in gymnastics is extremely important. Usually the lead-off, the first person to go is usually your most consistent to start off the rotation. And then you usually hope to build scores as you kind of go down the lineup with your highest scoring potential, typically towards the end, but not always the case.
So a 9.75 for Kennedy Duke. There's Jalea.
You know, talk about experience. Bedminster is an athlete who transferred from LIU here and now is in her second senior season at Pitt and is a 5th year, so she just has a ton of experience under her belt. And so far, great routine from her. Just a little bit of a foot separation there on that shoot over, but just the dismount left here. Double layout, small hop back. But again, continuing to build from this Panther lineup over on bars is what they're looking for.
So Bedminster and King, Bedminster and Duke with good performances. Noah is up next after a 9.875 and 9.825. That from Fink. Quick aside about Kennedy Duke. She set a career high on vault and tied one on bars.
What a night for Duke it is. Gorgeous Yurchenko full. Small hop there, but you know, you can see Noah's ranked 7th right now in the ACC in the all-around, meaning all 4 events. But I loved her vault, has great height, and we'll take another look here. Look at the height that she gets off the table. She gets pretty high, blocks and waits before she twists, and just the smallest of hops, but her hips were open, chest was up, and pretty much exactly what the judges want to see again.
Carolina already has a 9.875 and a 9.825. Building on that.
I mean, so far, what a rotation for the Tar Heels.
For the Panthers,
Jamie Pratt is up next for Pitt. Pratt with a 9.725 on vault. $9.675 for Bedminster.
Yeah, you can see Bedminster had a couple of small deductions in her shoot over and a little bit on that dismount. So just some kind of form things here and there, but all in all, still a great routine. We'll take a look here at Pratt. Something to notice about her is her feet are glued together pretty much the entire routine. Her feet are pointed. She gets a lot of her handstands, so she's a big scoring potential over on this event. And a great double layout. I'll take another look here to see if she's stuck. I couldn't quite tell, but an incredible routine from Pratt. Take a look at that dismount here. Little bit of a movement there with that right foot. But again, I mean, aside from that, she doesn't really have many deductions throughout the entire routine, which is really great to see.
Isabel Schaefer is up next for North Carolina. You see her season average.
This is what we had mentioned. This is Schaefer's new vault, actually, the vault that she had learned over the preseason. So another athlete, like we had said, who is a senior that learned a new skill, is competing a new skill. It's pretty tough at the age of 22, but she did it incredibly well. So a little bit of a rebound there on that landing, but I mean, for learning a new skill and competing it is incredible. Just take a look at that vault. Maybe a little bit high on the table, so she has to kind of pike down a little bit on that landing. But aside from that, I mean, a really great vault.
Freshman Cameron Chu is up for the Panthers. Consider average on the season. At what point of your freshman year do you feel like you're comfortable?
Never, unfortunately. I mean, you hope to kind of continue to build every now and again, but I feel like, you know, freshman year is really that experience. Just get used to competing every single weekend, which is not something that you do in club gymnastics. It's, you know, you might compete every other weekend or twice a month. So it's definitely an adjustment being able to do that again in school as well. Unfortunately, Chu just a little bit too far over on that handstand, so has to fall off. But, you know, that's a mistake that might happen in college gymnastics, but that's what we call an aggressive mistake. So you can see she's a little bit far on that Jaeger, that straddled Jaeger there, and then she's going for that handstand, trying to hit vertical, but unfortunately couldn't save it, so has to fall over. So that will be 5/10 of a deduction. But you oftentimes hear that that's, again, an aggressive mistake. So not playing it safe, which is great to see from a freshman. Just the dismount left here for Chu. Blindfold, straight into a double tuck. Small hop on that landing, but a great way for her to finish up that routine. Here's that dismount again, that blindfold, straight into a double tuck. Small hop back, but again, a great way for her to finish that routine.
Schaefer with a 9.725 ACC Newcomer of the Year. Jojo Valahovic.
She's actually been ACC Newcomer of the Week twice now, so that's the first time in program history for UNC that has happened. So it's really having a standout freshman year so far. Yurchenko 1.5, small hop, but a really, really great vault. And something to note about that is that it's actually a 10-0 start value. So like we had said, the Yurchenko full has been devalued, so it's only a 9.95 start, but this vault has the potential to score a 10, starting at a 10.0. So take a look here. She gets a great block, tight in her twist, and sees the landing, just a small hop, but she's straight in the middle of the table, and what you want to see there from a Yurchenko 1.5. It's great to see that from a freshman as well.
Yeah, you're really challenging yourself as a freshman. Emily Todd is up for the Panthers. She with a 9.1.
Pike Jaeger there. Toe hand down to the low bar with the shoot over.
Todd last year was an ACC Newcomer of the Week.
Yeah, you know, she's really grown into herself this season. You can see she just looks more comfortable out there doing her gymnastics. And a new dismount for her as well, that full out, small hop on the landing, or small step on the landing, but again, really great to see the growth and the potential from all of these athletes learning new skills. You can see just the small step on that landing. Couldn't quite fight for that landing, but a really great routine for her.
How about Valahovic, 9.9 on vault, as North Carolina is really crushing the second rotation. And they still have Decanoisa to round it out.
Yeah, ranked pretty high in this event as well. She's always been historically good at vault as well. Gorgeous Yurchenko full, small hop, but again, that was 6 for 6, super strong vaults over there for the Tar Heels. A really, really great rotation for them.
And she is one of those competitors you feel like has been at your opponent's school for 8 years.
Yeah, for sure. She's an athlete who has contributed on multiple events all of the time, and she's incredible.
Faith Lero is a late change, and she will go on bars.
Faith Lero.
The fifth-year senior here from Florida.
Has only gone once. That was last meet, 9.775. And the Panthers really need her to perform here.
Yeah, unfortunately having a fall earlier in the rotation. They'll be counting on her score, hopefully here.
But a good bounce back by Todd at 9.775.
Maloney back down to the low bar with the shoot over. A little bit over-rotated there on that landing, so has to take a pretty large step forward, but a hit routine for the Panthers, which will at least drop the fall earlier in the lineup. Take a look here. There's her chest pretty far forward there, so has to take that larger step forward. But like we said, six routines go, and they get to drop one of the scores. So only 5 routines will actually count for the team total on that event.
Ellie King to do an exhibition for North Carolina.
Yurchenko full small hop on the landing, but again, this is an exhibition routine for the athlete to show that, you know, she deserves to be in the lineup, and it's great to see that because it just shows that there's continual depth, and you know, this is still a great vault, so makes it harder for the next weekend on that event.
And yes, Ellie and Nev are twins. If you're a Pitt fan and one thinking, boy, they look familiar. Very much so. Great rotation for North Carolina. Not 49-2.
Yeah, and you know, breaking a 49 on an event is just an incredible feat and something that you look to do on every event, at every meet. Easier said than done, though, for sure.
We're waiting the score on Lero. Before Mika Lee will do an exhibition for the Panthers. So a 9.475 for Lero.
You see here, Mika Lee, the freshman, has another opportunity here. Unfortunately, a little bit over on that handstand, so she has to come off the bar. Mika actually was named ACC Newcomer of the Week as well earlier in the season. So another really big impact freshman, and also is named part of the ACC Newcomer watch list as well. So a lot of potential here for her as she kind of continues on with her freshman season. And all the way from Alaska as well. Just the dismount left here for her. A newer dismount that Leah's been learning, that blindfold into double tuck. A little bit over-rotated there, but holds on to the landing.
So we are halfway through here in Pittsburgh. Big rotation for North Carolina. We'll add it up and show you some highlights as we return here at the We had some highlights for you here in rotation 2. Balahovic.
Gorgeous Yurchenko. Gorgeous Yurchenko, 1.5. You can see, I mean, deserves a 9.9, just the smallest hop forward, and the freshman is really off strong here in the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse.
It was a big rotation. Emily Todd came through for the Panthers on bars.
Yeah, you know, Todd going up after a fall, but hitting this great routine and feet glued together and just really being a solid rock here for the Panthers over on this event.
Todd's good score, followed by a bit of a step forward for Lero. And
Almost
See
that
Todd
stuck
holding
landing.
on. As Panthers trail North Carolina by 600s or Panthers celebrating 50 years as a program. Donna Samp still involved in the athletic department here, the Hall of Famer. 21 NCAA appearances. You see the Eagle Championship in 2016. In the first year for ACC, it's been quite a celebration this year with a lot of, is veterans the right word, Olivia?
Veterans maybe not. However, more so just like growth and potential is something that you see a lot from the Panthers, and it's great to see that they have built so much on this program and just continuing to build as well.
And future Panthers will talk about their new home, Victory Heights. As we see just a year ago, that area looked like this right next to the Peterson Event Center here in the Pitt campus, and now we've got a building.
We went from gravel to building, that's for sure, and that's actually where the Panthers will be competing and training, hopefully at this point next season, so that is very exciting.
That is the arena. The other part is part of the practice area. 3 teams will participate there, as we see the finished product, along with gymnastics, volleyball, and wrestling, the new home here at the University of Pittsburgh. We'll count up the scores and get you set for rotation number 3, Tar Heels and Panthers. Welcome back to Pittsburgh, JoJo Balahovic, ACC Newcomer of the Week, not once but twice, consecutive weeks for JoJo, and it might be 3 in a row after a 9-9 on vault for JoJo. What a great first year.
Yeah, it's been incredible to see a freshman make this big of an impact, and you know, she's been ACC Newcomer of the Week twice, like we said prior. It's actually a program record as well, so that's great to see that she's really building.
So 10 of her 17 routines this year have been a 9.75 or higher. Excuse me, a 9.85 or higher.
I mean, that's a great threshold to have. I mean, anything in gymnastics, anything above a 9.75 is when you're starting to think, oh, that was a pretty good routine. But to have something at a 9.85 or higher, that consistent, is great to see from somebody who's still new to the NCAA as well.
And you can see she's on the newcomer watch list, along with Mika Lee, another newcomer of the week this year. And they will be competing against each other for a long time.
Yeah, it's always great as a college athlete to kind of get familiar with some of the other teammates and other people who are maybe in your class as well within the conference, because ultimately, while you're competitors, a lot of these athletes are friends, actually, because gymnastics is such a small community.
And another thing that's cool is they know that people are kind of watching them, and yet they've still performed, even with that early attention on them.
Yeah, you know, gymnastics is definitely one of those sports where you have to rise to the occasion under pressure. And, you know, while it is a team sport, it's, you know, still pretty individualistic. I mean, the biggest differences between club gymnastics and college is competing as a team versus competing as an individual.
So you see the Panthers huddling up after North Carolina takes the lead in the second rotation. Do you have pep talks? Like, what do you discuss going from one rotation to the next?
You know, it's all about hopefully continuing to build momentum, or if maybe an event didn't go the way that you had hoped, it's about kind of, you know, hey, let's have a short-term memory or a goldfish memory as well, just kind of being able to move forward and clean slate and starting the next event. And just, you know, practicing like you train is a big thing in gymnastics.
As you see the orders, and who else would you want up other than someone who set a career high, tied a career high, and now is going to lead off for you on beam? Kennedy Duke for the Panthers.
And she's been having an incredible night tonight. So it's great to see that she's leading off the Panthers over on the balance beam. Had a little bit of an uncharacteristic fall last week, so hopefully looking for a little bit of redemption for this routine.
Former Canadian all-around champ, and we're finding out why tonight.
Beautiful series there, that back handspring layout. That was where she had the fall last week. And it's been great to see now as a junior that Duke has really grown on this event from, not really competing that much on this event her freshman year to now leading off the event. It's huge for her. Just goes to show how much work that she has done in the off season. And, Coach Casey Jo McPherson has said that she's been an athlete who's really grown. And it's been great to see that so far this season.
Duke to finish.
Small hop of that landing there, but again, what a great way for Duke to show up again and lead off this Panther rotation. Let's take a look here at this series back handspring, back layout. There's that round off 1.5, small hop forward, but a really, really great routine there for Duke.
So Kennedy Duke gets it started for the Panthers. Jessica Naranjo, sophomore from Florida. Part of that beam championship team last year, now starting on floor.
And something to look out for over from the Tar Heels is a lot of their athletes have E passes, which gymnastic skills are rated from A to E, and college gymnastics being from the easiest to most difficult. So that is a double pike there, so that's a D, but we'll see later in the lineups there are some E passes, meaning there's a lot of difficulty in this Tar Heel lineup.
Season high is a 9.85 on the floor.
Layout, front full. It's great to see that the second pass rose higher than the first, showing amplitude there. A couple things you're looking for on the floor is good choreography, leaps being at 180 degrees, and also all of the passes you want to have chest up and strong landings, which she's doing a great job of that here. Strong start there for the Tar Heels.
Kennedy Duke, a 9.75 to start on beam for the Panthers. I wish you all could watch Olivia watch beam, because the PTSD just comes through from your career for every single competitor on beam.
Beam is one of those events where you feel personally for the athlete. You're like, okay, you got it, you gotta stay square, stay tight. A lot of things to think about, especially over on beam.
Emily Todd. Emily coming off a 9.775 on bars.
Over on beam, a couple things to look for are having leaps 180 degrees, obviously no balance checks or no wobbles, but you really look for the athletes to look kind of poised and having, choreography that kind of flows, which, Todd does an incredible job of that. I mean, she just looks very relaxed up there, and that's something that the judges can kind of sense as well. Just the dismount there. Front full, small hop on the landing, but looks incredible. Has a nice little celebration dance there at the end. And that's something that Casey Jo has really kind of emphasized over this last week for the Panthers, has been just being relaxed as you're competing. And it's easier said than done, but that's when you kind of perform your best gymnastics, is when you're not thinking too hard.
So Duke's score has been adjusted 9.675. Waiting Jess's score on floor. See Gwen Fink Up next for North Carolina on the floor. Carolina grabbed the lead in the second rotation. We're early here in the third. 9-7 for Naranjo.
See that double pike there. Great chest up on that landing. Beautiful 2.5 there. You know, something that Coach Durante has really talked about for this Tar Heel team has not only been consistency, but really what that means to be consistent. But they also have really been building on team culture and relationship building, which is, you know, something they worked really hard in the off season, and during their team retreat, they came up with some core values that really help to emphasize what they're looking for during meet day and throughout each week. And it's been great to see that, you know, the whole team has really embraced that. A pretty solid routine there for Fink. It looks like she had maybe a little bit of a step out on that last pass there, that left foot. We'll take a look at that 2.5. Really gorgeous 2.5. Feet were pretty much almost glued together there, but there's that 1.5 front layout. Yeah, and it looks like that left foot seemed to go out, so that will be a 10th.
Mika Lee quickly on beam. See the score of a 9-7-7-5 from Emily Todd.
This is Lee's first opportunity in the lineup as a counting score this time. That handspring layout. You know, and just for a freshman, she looks very poised and calm up there, which is huge to see from a freshman. Like we had said earlier, while this is a team sport, it's pretty individual. You know, you're the only one up there doing your gymnastics. Beautiful front toss, a piked front toss, which is, you know, pretty challenging there. It looks maybe a little bit easier, but it's a very challenging skill. Just the dismount left for Lee. 1.5 and drills that landing. So that is a stuck landing there for the Panthers, the first one of the night over on beam.
Colin Sisk getting the crowd going for what they're saying is Steel City stick.
Yeah, it's been great to kind of get some crowd engagement. You know, being from Pittsburgh, it's considered the Steel City historically because of, you know, coal factories and everything like that. So that's why Pittsburgh is always considered the Steel City here. You can see the crowd here tonight. It's actually Pride Night tonight, so the gymnasts are all wearing their Pride Leos for Pitt, and they also give out some water bottles as well.
We mentioned Claire Stipich and the opportunity in the exhibition. Now this one's going to count. They transfer from Kentucky, the Wisconsin native. Her opportunity here on the floor. After a 9-5-7-5 by Fink.
Double pike there. Like Jeff had mentioned, she's a transfer from the University of Kentucky, so it's great to see that a lot of these schools now have been really utilizing the transfer portal, so it gives athletes the opportunity to find where their best fit is and where they can contribute the most. So it's great to see that she's breaking the lineup here. double tuck there, almost a perfect stuck landing. Just this last pass for her. A lot of 3-pass routines here from the Tar Heels, which is, you know, something now in NCAA gymnastics. You do not need 3 passes as long as you meet your requirements, but so far, pretty much all of these routines have had 3 passes.
So you may have heard, as we'll watch the end of the second pass here for Stippage.
That double tuck, almost perfectly stuck landings, but kind of covers up with that little step back.
You may have heard some cheering during the middle of her routine. A 9.85 for Mika Lee. Her previous other score was a 9.2 on beam. So a lot of excitement for Mika as Jamie Pratt is up next, as the Panthers off to a great start on beam.
And like we had said, Pratt competing in the all-around here. So it's been great to see her kind of break that lineup. There's that gorgeous triple series, handspring layout. Very challenging when you have a triple series of 3 skills connected. You know, and Coach Casey Joe had said that that was one of Jamie's goals, was to kind of come and have contributions here on multiple events, but unfortunately has a little bit of a slip on that switch leap, so has to come off the beam. It's a little bit short on that leap there. Just the dismount left here for Pratt. Round off 1.5, small step on the landing, so an unfortunate fall there from Pratt on that switch leap. But aside from that, a really strong routine. We'll take a look here at that leap. You can just see that left foot kind of land on the side of the beam, so unfortunately has to fall off there, which will be half a point. We'll take a look at that dismount, round off 1.5. Small step back, but it's still a strong routine for her, and just an unfortunate area there on that leap.
Jojo Valahovic for UNC. Boy, it might be her and Lee competing for that ACC Newcomer of the Week again this week. Lee with a 9.85. Valahovic with a 9.9 on vault.
Keep your eyes open here for this first pass. It'll be one of those E passes that we were talking about. So one of the most challenging levels of skill that you compete here in the NCAA. It's that full in. Unfortunately, just a little bit too much power, so she has to kind of go out of bounds there. But that just comes with time and with experience. So, you know, being a freshman, learning how to dial in on those landings and adjusting to the equipment on away meets is sometimes a little bit more challenging. So just some room for growth, but see, still so much potential for her. Front through, straight to double tuck. A little bit short on that landing, so has to have a chest down, short landing there. You know, she had a 9.9 on this event last week, which is, you know, an incredible score for a freshman to have over here. And maybe not this week with the 9.9, but however, she has so much potential and, you know, pretty difficult floor routine as well. Take a look here at that first pass. That's that E pass, this full in. You can see she gets so much height there. Just unfortunately just a little bit far back. So has to kind of go out of bounds there, which will be a deduction. Here's that front through to the double tuck where you can see a little bit of a chest down landing, so takes that step forward. So maybe not her best performance here on floor, but still, I mean, a really, really strong athlete.
Great on beam last week. Julie Rhoda Matzo up next for the Panthers.
Yeah, and Julie, like we had said, kind of as a later addition to the Panthers lineup on beam this season, but coming off of a career high 985 last week. Someone who's really, really grown and peaked kind of a little bit later in the season, but has really shown up. That handspring layout there. A little bit of bent legs there in that layout, so a little bit of form deduction. Switch half, and she's supposed to connect that here into her swing down, so that it should be contributing to her start value, so potentially not a 10-0 start here, but we'll have to see what the judges do with that. Beat jump to a ring jump. That's a nice, unique skill here for Matza. She has a gorgeous ring jump. Just the dismount left here. Front full, another stuck landing.
So a good stick on the landing. It's the ebb and flow of a meet where it can be going so well, and then a couple of missteps here or there on each side, and now Panthers trying to finish strong on beam. And Julia Noer is up next for North Carolina. You see her high floor average.
Like we had said, Noah competing in the all-around tonight, so.
Her last opportunity against Pitt at Carolina, she won vault, bars, floor, and all-around against Pitt.
Yeah, an incredible athlete. And you can see there, it's another full in with a chest up stuck landing. Extremely powerful athlete too. You can see all of her tumbling is really high, really explosive. See second pass here for Noah. Front full to front layout. You can see the heart there. Pretty on par for Valentine's Day. A really, really strong routine for the Tar Heels, kind of coming back from the 9-4 that was before her, but you can see this full in. She executes this very, very well. Same with this last pass. I mean, she's got feet glued together. There's amplitude on both passes. Maybe a little bit of an amplitude reduction there on that layout, but regardless, a really, really great routine for the Tar Heels.
So Rhoda Matzo able to get a 9.65. And Darby Simcox up next for the Panthers. Freshman from the other side of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, Darby has really been a strong athlete over on beam here for the Panthers, kind of in and out in lineups, but pretty much for the most part has been super consistent. Front aerial into that backhand spring. Just like we had said with freshman Mika Lee, she's another athlete on beam that's a freshman that doesn't look like a freshman. She's very poised and very relaxed with another difficult hiked front toss there. You can see she's smiling through the routine as well, which is really showing the judges that she's comfortable.
Are those all sincere smiles?
You know, sometimes they're kind of choreographed in there, but the best athletes are the ones that can smile and mean it genuinely. And you can see that stuck dismount there. And what a challenging position for Simcox there.
As a freshman.
Yeah, you know, a freshman anchoring that lineup is huge for the Panthers. And not only anchoring, meaning that she has this highest scoring potential, but she also had some pressure as she was trying to, you know, get rid of that fall there earlier in the lineup from the Panthers, and she did a great job with that. So something that she should be very proud of.
.9875 for Noer, and Bella Miller will anchor the floor for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Front through, straight into a double tuck. Just like we had said with Simcox over on the balance beam, Miller here has a pretty tough role to want to knock out one of those lower scores of the 9.4 or the 9.575 previously. So it's really important that she has a hit here for the Tar Heels. Double pike, a little bit of a slide backward, but again, a really powerful tumbler and has had a really great routine. Crochet ring there, really unique leap. And a great way for the Tar Heels to finish up their rotation over on the floor exercise.
Bella Miller has citizenship in 3 countries. US, Canada, but then maybe during the winter I'm going to go down to Jamaica.
Wow.
And exercise my citizenship there.
A lot of great vacation spots too.
Oh, yes. So it's the assistant coach for North Carolina, Marie Denick, who's from Erie. You know about winters in Erie?
Absolutely.
I'm
about
sure
2 hours north.
I'm sure a few Tar Heel fans are here to support North Carolina from either there or Kent State, where she went to college. As Elizabeth Cesarone with an exhibition after a 9.8 from Simcox. What a performance by Simcox in that type of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes to show why she was the anchor on that event. You see a unique series here from Elizabeth. She does a front toss to back tuck, so didn't connect it that first time, so had to do it for a second time and connected it that second time. You know, while she's been a staple here for the Panthers on vault and floor, she's really grown on this event as well, getting this opportunity in the exhibition spot. She's been working hard to kind of break that Panther beam lineup, so it's great to see that she has an exhibition spot tonight. And being a 5th year as well, so really breaking a lineup, a newer lineup as a 5th year is huge. And a stuck round up 1.5 and a great opportunity for her.
And the chain while waiting. And there it is. Kaylee King is scheduled to do an exhibition here for North Carolina.
Next team to compete for the Tar Heels is Ellie King.
Thought bubble. Where's my music? Where's my music?
Front through into double tuck. Really strong landing here for King. It's gotta be exciting for her to have her twin sister on the team as well. Gotta be a pretty unique and cool college experience. Second pass here for King. Double pike. A little bit short on that landing, so she has a little bit of a chest down, meaning the athlete didn't set enough and rise enough prior to flipping. But a really good exhibition routine here. Just shows that UNC has a lot of depth and a lot of growth throughout their all of their classes.
Cicerone and King each with good exhibitions. And speaking of some of that depth, it was an incredibly close third rotation here between the Panthers and Tar Heels as we get set to head to the final rotation. North Carolina leading here in North Carolina leads heading into the final rotation, 146.8 to 146.150 for the Panthers. So we welcome you inside the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse after a beautiful view of downtown Pittsburgh here for this ACC gymnastics meet. Mika Lee with a career high on beam.
Yeah, and from a freshman over on balance beam, she's been a staple in the lineup, really breaking that career high and with a fantastic routine for the Panthers.
A 9.85 on beam. Julia Noer has been in that position several times on several rotations, and she was outstanding again here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just a really seasoned veteran athlete. I mean, she just drills all of these landings. Her form is impeccable. She's just an athlete that continues to deliver day in and day out, and she did tonight again over on floor.
How difficult is it to be that consistent in every rotation?
Yeah, I mean, for Noah being an all-around athlete, it's incredible, just building from each rotation.
So we see the results of the two rotations. Panthers led after the first. Kennedy Duke with the career high. UNC with a big vault rotation. Valahovic with a 9.9 to set her career high. And we mentioned Mika with the career on beam as they were nearly tied in the third rotation between floor and beam. And now the chance here for the Panthers. Can they make up ground on the floor in this final rotation? It's Pitt and UNC ACC gymnastics here in Pittsburgh on Valentine's Day and Pride Day here in Pitt. It might say home field advantage more than anything, to be able to be the home team and finish on the floor while your opponent has to finish on beam. A decent lead for North Carolina heading into the fourth rotation as the Panthers hit the floor. Kaylee Larson will lead off for Pitt on floor. And Naraho, Valahovic, some of the big names for North Carolina on beam. Of course, Fink also doing the all-around here today. Nev King has had a good day. Anna Durante with looking for her team to finish this off, a second straight ACC win, while the Panthers looking for a huge comeback on the floor.
Yeah, it'll be a really interesting rotation because beam is actually one of UNC's best events historically this season. They've done very, very well over on that event, and you know, floor has been a very strong event for the Panthers. However, last week they had a little bit of a slip-ups, having maybe not their best showing over on floor. So, you know, it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out tonight.
Ronho will lead off on beam for North Carolina.
Leading off for the Tar Heels is Jessica Naranjo.
You know, and she's actually ranked 8th right now in the ACC over on this event. So, again, really showing how consistent she has been for the Tar Heels. A little bit of that balance check there on that full turn, which, you know, is a skill that is required from every athlete over on beam and something that you grow up doing, but sometimes it gets the best of you. But a really great recovery on that series. We have that front aerial to lay out, step out, really unique series. Switch half pike jump to a beat jump. Just the dismount left here. Back handspring 1.5, small hop on the landing. And aside from that little mishap in the beginning, a really strong routine and great way to start for the Tar Heels.
And really, if you're North Carolina, if you get 5 to stay on the beam, it's going to be very, very hard for Pitt to win.
Yeah, pretty much for the Tar Heels here. They just need to have at least 3 hit routines, and they pretty much seal the deal there for the victory over Pitt. But any opportunity for them to count a fall would really narrow that gap, and you know, the Panthers can really have a show out rotation and pull ahead here.
Kaylee Larson with her full uniform. The sophomore from California.
You know, an event specialist here for the Panthers, meaning that floor is pretty much the event that she will compete for them. It's great to see that she's here in the leadoff position tonight. Starting with that double tuck. The Panthers over here on floor actually historically have really, really great choreography, and all their choreography is done by Alina Cartwright, who is the assistant coach and coaches primarily vault for the Panthers. But something that the Panthers really have worked on is their artistry and their showmanship. And you'll see that here through each of the lineup athletes tonight. See a really solid start here for Larson. And what a way for the Panthers to kind of bring up their challenge here over on floor and challenge the Tar Heels.
Career high is 9.9 on floor for Larson. And
take a look here at that double tuck. Really high, a lot of height there. A very powerful tumbler, actually. She was a power tumbler as well in club, so she kind of has that in her back pocket as well, and shows here on floor. It's that front layout, front full. Really clean routine for the Panthers.
Naranjo with a 9.8 to start off on beam.
We go back to Valahovic here, the ACC newcomer of the week. That beam average of a 9.805 is showing how consistent she's been.
In her first year.
Through her first year. handspring layout, step out. A lot of height there in that series, which is really great to see. You know, the theme for the Tar Heels has really been fired up, so that's kind of their theme through the season, and you can kind of see that from each of their athletes over on each event tonight. Just they have, you know, they have a goal and they have a mission, and they're out to achieve it. Round off 1.5, stuck landing.
And for JoJo, after she was disappointed with her floor performance, to bounce back like that on beam is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is huge, and that's something to see from a freshman as well is incredible to see. Because it's challenging once you've had an event where you feel like you maybe didn't perform your best, and then you go on to the next event kind of with the fire under your butt, and you're like ready to attack it. You can see she drilled that landing, that round off 1.5. Another thing that Coach Durrani has been talking about is landings for this meet, and you can see so far so good over on beam.
So Carolina with 2 massive statements through 2 performers on beam. Elizabeth Cicerone now on floor for the Panthers. Central Michigan transfer.
Front full to front layout there.
9.675 for Larson.
See, second pass here from Cicerone, double pike. She's really looking to kind of hone in on those landings this week, and she's been doing a great job of that so far throughout this routine. Just this last pass here for Cicerone. Round off by handspring, double tuck, and an excellent landing there. Chest was up, really controlled landing, and a really incredible routine there for Elizabeth.
Speaking of incredible, as we look back at this rotation.
Take a look here at that first pass. Front full to front layout. There's that last pass there, that double tuck. Incredible landing, and continuing to build momentum over on the floor for the Panthers.
So we go back to beam, yet another career high. JoJo Valahovic, a 9.95 on beam.
I mean, that is incredible. So what that means is that basically one of the judges gave her a perfect 10, or unless they both showed a 9.95, but in this case, both judges flashed 9.95, so that will be a 9.95 average. But, I mean, regardless, that is an incredible score for a freshman. As we look over here, is we have
Third
Nev King.
Opportunity for King tonight. 9.875 to lead off on vault.
Drills that landing there on that series. A little bit of bent leg in that back handspring, but really solid landing.
And vault is really where Carolina started to get rolling here tonight.
Switch leap into split 3/4. She's really an aggressive beam worker, and you really like to see that. Shows that she has confidence over this event, and she's not afraid to do big gymnastics over on beam. Just the dismount left here for King. Round off 1.5 and a stuck landing. Again, it's the second one over there for the Tar Heels. It's kind of contagious for them, which is incredible to see.
Halfway through, they are just crushing this beam.
Take a look at this dismount here. There's this round off 1.5. Be lacking a little bit of amplitude there if I'm being picky, but she drills the landing. No foot movement, and what a way to finish off her night.
Nev King. So Naranjo, Valahovic, and King stepping up on beam for the Tar Heels. Emily Todd is up for the Panthers, 9.775 for Cicerone.
It's great to see Todd back in the lineup here over on floor exercise. This will be her third time this season.
9.75 last week on floor for Todd.
Something I love about Todd on all events is really her form. You know, she's just really incredible with her attention to detail. There's that double pike. I mean, her feet are pointed, her feet are together. She just really has great execution on every event. Last pass here for Todd. Really hoping to build on this event. Front through to double tuck. Unfortunately, just a little bit over-rotated there on that pass, so she will step out, which will be a deduction. Quite the celebration Pitt has on all events, which is, you know, something to note for sure. There's something to be said for building energy and kind of having great energy throughout each event.
Well, obviously it can be very stressful. Sometimes you kind of have to keep it light, right?
Yeah, you know, college gymnastics can be a very stressful, you know, sport to do, but like any college sport. But it is really important to continue to kind of find the joy throughout each routine and each day. And each event and each day might not be the most fun. It is really important to continue to find joy in it.
An all-around performer tonight, Gwen Fink with her final rotation. See the scores from Carolina, just outstanding.
Yeah, and you can see really why this is, you know, one of their best events, just in general. They're currently ranked 19th right now in the nation on this event, which is, you know, such an incredible feat. I mean, they're ranked 22nd overall, but 19th on this event right here. You can see why. A really difficult triple series there, back handspring layout. Has to lift up that 1 foot there, so that will be a deduction. Just the dismount, that gainer full, back handspring gainer full with a stuck landing. I mean, that is what Coach Durrani really said that they were looking to do during this meet, and so far they have really done that well, is just drilling those landings, because all those tenths do add up, and that's really where you kind of see teams pull ahead throughout competition. Take a look at that series, that back handspring layout. You can see that back foot there didn't quite get all the way down, but she kind of plays it off with her choreography, which is a pretty veteran move right there.
She masked that very well. Emily Todd with a 9.65. Jordan Ewing is up next for the Panthers on floor. 9.7 or higher on every time on floor this year. You see the average.
Yeah, and Ewing, a senior here from Nova Scotia, she actually qualified on this event to the NCAA regionals last year, showing that she, you know, really is a veteran over on this event and performs very, very well. Something of note, you know, not only is her gymnastics and her tumbling incredible on this event, but she really presents this routine extremely, extremely well. First pass here, round off 1.5, layout. Here from Ewing, round off back handspring double tuck. Again, really drills that landing. You can see why she's a former NCAA regional qualifier on this event.
5-time champion on the floor in her career.
Incredible performance from Ewing tonight. We'll take a look at that first pass here from Jordan, that round off 1.5 front layout. Really controlled landing. It's great to see that she pretty much controls the landing prior to taking that lunge step, which is allowed in college gymnastics. There's that double tuck. Again, finds the landing there. See, getting some positive affirmations from assistant coach Amanda Wellick over on floor.
Julia Noer, another solid performer on beam. On beam, you see the scores: 9.8, 9.95, 9.85, 9.85.
Yeah, the Tar Heels are really having a standout performance over on beam, showcasing, you know, why they deserve to be ranked on this event nationally, and they're just very consistent. See as Noah finishes out her all-around night here. Gorgeous back handspring layout, step out, absolutely no movement, just flows right through it. Noah does a great job on all events, just making every event look light and easy. Just the dismount here for her. Sorry, front toss to beat jump there.
You're just always looking to get off that thing as fast as possible.
I mean, every athlete is, to a degree, but you gotta fulfill all the requirements. Now just the dismount left here for Noah. Round off 1.5, small hop on the landing, but pretty much, again, almost another deductionless routine from the Tar Heels. It's pretty hard to find some deductions in some of these routines.
And that is 5 hit routines on beam for North Carolina.
I mean, that should pretty much seal the deal here for the Tar Heels. I mean, they had an incredible performance over on this event, but still one more athlete to go. But a great night for Noah. You can see getting a hug there from head coach Dana Durante. and then assistant coach Sammy Durante.
Mother-daughter, after a year together, now they've kind of established some roles and said that has gone very well. Mika Lee up next for the Panthers after a 9.875 for Jordan Ewing.
Oh, and it looks like we do have a score change as well from Kaylee Larson from a 9.675 to now being a 9.725 for Larson. So that will help the Panthers a little bit over on the floor exercise. Start here with Lee. A very challenging front double full. That is another E pass. She's a really fun athlete to watch on all events, but especially over here on floor. You know, Lee does a great job of performing this routine as well. Second pass here for Lee. Round off whip half to front Rudy. While this is Lee's second event of the night, it's actually really her fourth. She's competed on all 4 events, 2 exhibition and 2 routines that are counting. So what a night for her, being back here, home in the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. With yet again, another pit celebration. Take a look at that last pass here. There's that whip half to front Rudy, front 1.5 is what that is called. Smiling throughout the entire routine as well. It's not really an event that goes by where you don't see Lee smiling.
So 2 really good performances in a row by the Panthers. Now our first look at Reagan McBride, freshman from Columbia, Missouri.
You see, just like we saw with the Panthers, another freshman that is anchoring this lineup here. A beam specialist here for the Tar Heels. Unfortunately, did have a fall last week, so looking for some redemption here with that side aerial backhand spring. Without McBride's score, the Tar Heels are already above a 196 with a 196.025, so their score can only improve with this routine.
So how often do you have the luxury of looking at beam and saying, I don't know what score I'm going to drop? Just a tremendous performance by North Carolina.
I mean, the potential to drop a 9.775 is not a pretty shabby day for them. Not shabby at all, so kudos to the Tar Heels for sure. Just their dismount. Side aerial, 1.5, and another stuck landing here. So I will have to say mission accomplished from a landing standpoint for the Tar Heels. So what a night for the Tar Heels to finish up over on the balance beam. Just one athlete left over on floor. Julia Bedminster.
Well-earned celebration from North Carolina. They head to 2 straight ACC wins. Number of people stepping up for North Carolina. Palahovic you saw in the middle with hugs there, but how about Pitt finishing strong on floor? A pair of 9.875s. And now Julia Bedminster to finish it off.
We'll see Bedminster here. We'll be debuting her full in over on floor for the first time here in the Fieldhouse. She's competed it once prior at Clemson, so it's exciting to see that she'll be doing it at home. in Bedminster, another one of those NCAA regional qualifiers last year as well. Huge full in. Unfortunately, little short on that landing there, so that will be a fall. So another half a point. One and a half front layout. Bedminster, another athlete who really performed super well over on this event. Their showmanship, and unfortunately, this routine will not count for the Panthers because it will be a fall, but still great to see that she debuted her full in over on floor here at home.
It is.
Take a look here at this full in. I mean, she gets a lot of height, but chest is just pretty down on that landing, so does have to unfortunately put her hands down, but a lot of great potential there for that pass.
Claire Stippich will do an exhibition. We were discussing with Dana about trying to break into a lineup. How do you break into a lineup where you go 9-8, 9-9-5, 9-8-5, 9-8-5, 9-7-7-5, and a 9-9 for Reagan McBride, another freshman with a career high and an outstanding performance.
Yeah, I mean, while this is an exhibition routine, it is still a great opportunity for her to, prove why she deserves to be in the lineup and have opportunities to do a routine under pressure. But unfortunately, this lineup made it pretty challenging to break. But, doesn't mean that somebody might need to rest one weekend and somebody else might need to be in. So it's important to have depth. She did a great job so far fighting through this routine. You could see had some balance error on that series, but she did save it, so that is very important that she's showing grit and fight through this whole routine, showing that she's a fierce competitor for sure. That dismount there, and yet again, still fighting for that dismount, fighting for that landing, which is still really, really important to see. So while maybe not the best performance from her, it still shows that she's got a lot of grit and fight. And what an incredible night here for the Tar Heels, finishing up that beam rotation with a 49.35.
And the only thing that's keeping Jamie Pratt from the all-around tonight is floor. She will do an exhibition on floor.
Completing exhibition for the Panthers, Jamie Pratt.
Pratt with a 9.725 on vault and a 9.75 on bars.
First pass here. Front layouts or front double full. Another E pass. Second pass here for Pratt. At round off 1.5 front layout. And Pratt is another athlete who executes things very, very well. She's a great toe point. Her form is very, very good. So she's an incredible athlete on all 4 events. a really great exhibition routine here for Pratt.
The Panthers and Tar Heels. Some amazing performances here tonight. We'll recap some of them as we continue here from Pittsburgh. It's ACC Gymnastics here in Pittsburgh tonight. Reagan McBride punctuated a tremendous performance on beam for North Carolina.
Yeah, Bride really anchoring that beam line up here with a 9.9 is incredible for her as a freshman in this spot. Just really caps off what an incredible beam rotation for the Tar Heels. Take a look here. Her side aerial back handspring. I mean, every athlete, you know, from routine to routine with their execution, their stuck landings, they just really honed in on what they needed to do this week, and it came out to show that, you know, they went with 49.35 over on this event, which is their season high over on this event. Take a look here. Front toss. I mean, it was just incredible to see that the Tar Heels really came and put an exclamation point on the entire meet over on this event, you know? I mean, they just really did what they needed to do and delivered, and it's great to see so much growth throughout the year. There's that stuck landing that was contagious from athlete to athlete here.
And Reagan, 9.9, that's really good, but it's not a 9.95.
Yeah, I mean, and like we said, I mean, while we finished the rotation with a 9.9 from McBride, we saw here from JoJo, she had a 9.95, which is, I mean, 0.05 away from a perfect beam routine, which is just incredible to see, and incredible to see from an athlete like her, who's a freshman, who's, you know, two-time ACC Newcomer of the Week. Just goes to show that, you know, she's really been building with this whole consistency theme for the Tar Heels, and this is the embodiment of that.
Finishing off here, the 9.95.
See, just from every movement, I mean, it's toes pointed, legs are straight, she controls each landing. It's just exactly what you want to see and exactly what you want to build on from each routine as you kind of go through the lineup. Even with that dismount, again, another stuck landing. You can see the excitement from all the team. Really excited to celebrate her and her accomplishments tonight.
She also had a 9.9 on vault. So career highs in 2 events. Her first opportunity here at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, which she'll probably remember for the rest of her career.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a night like tonight for her is just an incredible experience.
She knows we're talking about her too.
They know we're you know, talking her up, and she's done a great job, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she has to show as, you know, the season goes on.
You see that score on beam from North Carolina. You mentioned a season high. That is now 4 times in the last 2 meets that Carolina has gone north of 49. They're starting to get on a run. 100 twice now over 196. You can see it starting to build.
Yeah, and you know, Coach Durrani had really said that last year as well, that they had some growth from their last meet at Pitt, so that was exciting to see.
Colin Sisk is the public address announcer here at the University of Pittsburgh. He has your final scores.
And it's time for tonight's awards. We'll begin on each individual apparatus. First on vault. In first place with a score of 9.90 for the North Carolina Tar Heels, JoJo Valahovic. Next, we move on to the uneven bars. On bars with a score of 9.875 for the North Carolina Tar Heels, Lali Deganoita. Next, we move to the balance beam. On beam with a score of 9.950 for the North Carolina Tar Heels, JoJo Valahovic. We move to the floor exercise. On floor, it's a 3-way tie with a score of 9.875 for the North Carolina Tar Heels, Julian Noer. And for the Pitt Panthers, Mika Lee and Jordan Ewing. We'll now move to the all-around results. In all-around, in first place with a score of 39.20 for the North Carolina Tar Heels, Julia Noer. And now for our team results. In second place with a score of 195.05, the Pitt Panthers. And in first place with a score of 196.150, the North Carolina Tar Heels. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight for the ACC Gymnastics competition with the North Carolina Tar Heels.
So some things also for Pitt to build on. Some good individual performances that'll give them an opportunity as they head to the West Coast next week.
Yeah, you know, maybe it wasn't the night that Pitt had hoped to have, but they are continuing to build and continuing to, you know, practice their depth on each event. So a lot of things to kind of work on this week, but they're looking forward for their next opportunity over at Cal.
Congratulations to the North Carolina Tar Heels, winners here tonight. A number of career highs here at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Thanks to our outstanding crew. For Olivia Miller, I am Jeff Hathorn saying good night from Pittsburgh. You can check out this on replay at ESPN.com.